Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's episode, which is Kyle Richards spiraling because her attempts at getting her husband, Mauricio Umansky's attention has backfired. As you guys know, I think a big part of Kyle losing a ton of weight, having a fake lesbian relationship with Morgan Wade, getting, 6 or 7 or 8 tattoos, and just being kind of very, irritable and angry and snapping at people, particularly her husband. I think it's because she's wants his attention. After her childhood friend passed away, she had a really rough year. I think that they've all been very attention seeking behavior, even the splits. But unfortunately, I think that has backfired and now she's pretty pissed about it. So before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. So I'm going to be sharing two reports. One is from Reality T and another is from Reality Blurb. They may have overlapping info, but that's okay. And then I also have a short TMZ video of Kyle talking about the state of her marriage and her plans for Christmas. So this is according to Reality T. It says Kyle Richards and her husband, Mauricio Umansky, have always had a lot of love for each other. So despite the rumors about the relationship going south, fans were genuinely surprised when they announced their split. It seems that the only person who wasn't surprised was Allison Dubois. Since the announcement, the former couple have tried very hard to play nice in the press, but both of them have been out and about with different partners. It's fueled speculation about cheating or, at the very least, moving on way too early. So, is the time for an amicable divorce over? Seemingly, things have now turned ugly. This is the thing. It already turned ugly. The moment the Mauricio and Dorit cheating rumors got exposed, it got ugly. The moment that there is allegedly a rumor out there that Mauricio has a love child that he fathered by a lady of the night, of a sex worker. I'm not exactly sure what her job is. And again, that's just a rumor that's been going out there. I need to do a deeper dive onto that. So I want to be very, very clear that that is just a rumor that's out there. Okay. So I think all of that has really turned things ugly. And then also with the way that Kyle sort of speaks to Mauricio, it's very aggressive, it's very belittling, it's very angry. The way that she treated his mother a couple episodes ago at Portia's birthday party, trying to get her upset, talking about the tattoos, knowing that she doesn't like them. It's gotten ugly, for more ways than one. But now I think that publicly, at least, the cracks are beginning to show. Okay. A source recently revealed to OK Magazine that they agreed to separate with the best of intentions, but things have turned ugly, and that Kyle is still stewing over Mauricio's cozy relationship with his Dancing with the Stars partner, Emma Slater. The insider noted he's already acting like the most eligible bachelor in town. Before the split's announcement, Kyle's relationship with Morgan Wade had been front and center in the media. The veteran Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member didn't exactly go to great lengths to tone down the rumors either. Morgan has even appeared on this season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills as Kyle's, quote, friend. Don't forget, Kyle was also in the very steamy, sexually charged lesbian innuendo. And again, when I say lesbian, I don't mean that in a derogatory way at all. I just mean lesbian because they're two women, and that's just how the name of their relationship is. So I want to be very clear that when I say that, by no means am I being disrespectful. Gay, straight, pan, whatever. Love is love. We love and respect all people. So when I say that, I just want to be very clear that it is not in a disrespectful or derogatory way. Okay. And whether Kyle is cheating with a man or a woman, it's still cheating. And it's still disrespectful because you're still at least claiming to be married to this man. And it's not like but I feel like Kyle's like, well, turnabout's fair play. You know, how often has she been embarrassed and disrespected by the cheating rumors that Mauricio has out there? His cheating rumors have been going on for over a decade at this point. So I think she was doing a little bit of get back. Like, yeah, well, you know, my rumor affair is now front and center, but I've had to deal with your cheating rumors for the last decade. But at the end of the day, Kyle, you're the one who chose to deal with to do that. You have to take accountability for that. I'm not giving Mauricio a pass because I think, you know, his cheating allegations and how he has acted towards women who are not his wife is not okay. So he doesn't get a pass either. You know, just because someone allows you to disrespect them doesn't mean you should. All right? Now, let's keep going. For his part, Mauricio has gotten a little too comfortable with his dance partner, going as far as to hold hands out in public. Both Emma and Mauricio laughed off the rumors, but where there's smoke, there's fire, and we all know that. While Kyle was busy assuring fans that everything was fine post breakup, the source noted that they don't want to be married anymore. But even if things go well, the couple now has to decide what to do with their vast fortune, and money tends to bring out the worst in people. Kyle and Mo married in 1996 and didn't have a prenup, said the insider. There's a lot of fear over how to divide their $100 million fortune in real estate holdings, but they both want to move on. Now, this is where I disagree. I actually don't think Kyle wants to get divorced from Mauricio. I think Kyle was doing attention seeking behavior. I think she was having a midlife crisis. I think she was having a traumatic break given the untimely death of her childhood friend by her own hands. You know, she succumbed to her mental illness. I think that Kyle was having some sort of break, some kind of identity crisis break. And I think that Mauricio was not there for her to support her physically and emotionally and mentally and spiritually. And this was her way of acting out. I actually don't think Kyle wants to get divorced. I think that Mauricio got a taste of what it could be like to be, quote, free, you know, the most eligible bachelor out there, to not have to pretend like his marriage is perfect, to not have to pretend, you know, like he's not cheating on his wife. And I think that sometimes when you push people and you make threats to leave or to get divorced or to break up, sometimes you push people too far. And when you really want them to pay attention to you, because I do think that everything she's doing is because she wanted his attention. That's what I really think it comes down to. She wanted him to show up for her, to make her a priority, to sacrifice work, sacrifice partying, sacrifice cheating, sacrifice everything, and really just put her first once. And I really think that's what it was about. But sometimes when you do that in a way where the person doesn't understand it, or they think you're just acting out, or they think that you're just being mean, or they think that you're just, you know, not loving them anymore, you get the opposite of what you actually want. And they do end up leaving and they do end up wanting to break up. You know, sometimes when people do things to like make their partner jealous or to make their ex jealous and it backfires. It's like, oh, well, you're seeing another girl now. Well, then forget you. Now I'm really going to move on. Oh, you're seeing another guy now. I'm not jealous. I'm over it, you know? Because sometimes when you disrespect people, there's no coming back from it. I am by no means defending Mauricio Umansky because turnabout's fair play. He's been embarrassing and disrespecting Kyle out here in these streets for a decade, allegedly. So now let's go on to the report from Reality Blurb. There may be some information that's repeated, but that's okay. And then we can also watch her TMZ clip as well. So Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky seem to be at a standstill in their months-long separation as both an insider and Kyle herself are speaking out on the state of their marriage. During a couple of recent interviews, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star looked ahead to the holidays and revealed if she and Mauricio, who also stars on Netflix Buying Beverly Hills, are still living together, as an insider suggested they don't want to be married anymore. Again, I already told you where I stand on that. I think that Kyle is pissed because Mauricio, instead of like begging her, is out here doing the most. He's doing Dancing with the Stars. He's doing the second season of Buying Beverly Hills. He's been seen with a mystery blonde after mystery blonde, whether it's Emma Slater or somebody else. He's just out here doing him really at this point. And I think that's really pissing her off. And then I also think that the more Kyle heals, the more she's going to want her marriage back, the more she's going to want her family unit back. But I think the more distance that Mauricio gets from Kyle, the more he might like his freedom, the more he might be like, okay, well, we could get divorced and my brand could still survive this. I don't have to have this quote married life to Kyle to now have the business and the brand and the real estate and the TV shows and the fame and the money. I could get out of this. Right. And I kind of think that's where they're at. So unless they're going to get some deep therapy, who knows what's going to happen. I still think they're going to reconcile. I still give it 3 to 6 months. I think that Mauricio is going to have his little freedom. He's going to do his little get back, and then they're going to get back together. And I think Kyle wants to get back together now. And that's why she's pissed, right? She's pissed and she's stewing because she's like, wait a minute, this is blown up in my face. This isn't exactly what I wanted. I got to figure out how to make this work. So I think he's going to do his get back and then they'll be back together. I don't think that they're actually going to divorce. I hope I'm right because I don't like to see, even though, we clown Kyle and even though Mauricio might be a philanderer and he has all of these lawsuits going on, I don't, in the real world as a human being, I don't want to see a family broken up. I don't want to see a marriage broken. I don't want to see that, so if they can find their way back to each other and be happy, that's really what I want for them. But let's keep going. While Kyle and Mauricio may be putting up a united front for their family, aka the press, an insider claims it's not all as it seems. They agreed to separate with the best intentions, but things have now turned ugly. That's right. We all talked about that. Dun, 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 dun. So, yeah. Here we go. That's right. We talked about them not having a prenup. Meanwhile, speaking to the Messenger on November 29th, Kyle shared that she would for sure be spending Christmas with Mauricio, noting that they would be celebrating at their Aspen home. No surprise there. And saying she hoped she could have a pre-Christmas celebration with her sisters Kathy and Kim, Kyle also reflected on the time they spent on Thanksgiving as they shared at their shared home in Encino. We live under the same roof, and Mauricio and I have never been a couple that fights, she explained. And I'm not just saying that. If you ask my kids, they have never seen a fight between us ever. So, it wasn't. We had our couple of close friends there, and, it was just sort of a normal Thanksgiving, actually. Kyle, that's not true. We've all seen you and Mauricio have, quote, little fights, particularly this season. So if we've seen you guys have little spats here and there, nothing huge or major because you guys have definitely had this sort of like persona front. But to me, a couple who says they never fight to me is the biggest red flag. What are you hiding? If you say you never fight, you're lying. You're lying. And you've definitely fought this season. We saw it with our own eyes. So girl, bye. Just because you're not screaming at each other, you're still fighting. The simmering is there. The anger is there. The bitterness is there. The resentment is there. And that's why Mauricio is always like, love Bean, because he's like, I don't know what the hell is going on. And I'm really scared my wife has lost her mind. Right? So stop it. But if you hear a couple say we never fight, that is one of the biggest red flags there is. Okay? As for where she and Mauricio stand today, Kyle admitted we're still in the same place. We're just, living under the same roof. It's certainly not a position I ever imagined myself to be in, after being married all these years. Wow, 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 wow. I love him very much. Obviously, Kyle shared of Mauricio. So that part is obviously difficult. But I think people do think it's probably strange, I guess. I don't know. I think people think it's not even true that we're going through a hard time. I don't understand that. I don't know that I can imagine anybody that would put their family through anything like that. As Kyle and Mauricio attempt to work through their marriage issues, they're continuing to spend time as a family. We're watching movies last night with the girls, she revealed. And so I'm just grateful that we're as good of friends as we are. We can navigate through this difficult time the way we are. It's been a challenging year and a half. Okay, she says, we're just taking everything a day at a time. And as promised, let's watch that little clip from TMZ of Kyle talking about, Mauricio and the holidays.
Do you plan to spend Christmas with Mauricio and all the kids this year?
I do.
Oh, okay. I wanted to know, you and Mo and the kids were at the Grove this weekend. How are things between you?
Well, good enough to be at the Grove.
Good enough to be, so it's better. Okay, I love it.
Yeah, we're getting along,
Do you think you're gonna be able to make it in the end, like to make it work? You guys are a cute couple.
Oh, thank you. We're just taking everything a day at a time. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I think Kyle is getting the help she needs. And as she heals, I think she wants her husband back and she wants her family back intact. And I think Mauricio is going to be on some petty get back for a little bit. But I do think he's going to come to his senses and they're going to get back together. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think nope, they are going to get divorced? They are headed to split bills. This situation is very much real and it is very much over. Do you think that they did it for a storyline, that the whole separation is just fake anyway? Do you think the separation is because of Mauricio's legal problems? Don't forget, he is facing a $32 million lawsuit and another $25 million lawsuit. That is a lot of money. And as we know, they don't have a prenup. So his debt is her debt. Is this just a way for her to protect their money and their assets and their property? Is that why they are, quote, separating and divorcing? Is it just a way to protect themselves in case he, has to pay up and pony up with these alleged fraud schemes? So put it down below. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.